Well, it's Sharpedo. It's a fucking shark, but also a torpedo. Should I just sing all of my intros from now on? What do you guys think about that? Is that an excellent idea for the growth of this channel? Please let me know, cause I sure do love Sharpedo. Sharpedo EX to be exact, and you may be looking at this at face value and saying, a stage 1 EX with 100 HP? No, thank you. A weakness and a resistance that might as well not even matter in 2005, but free retreat? Okay, but what if I told you that its first attack is Gust of Wind plus damage, and its second attack is Energy Removal plus damage? RuPaul would probably love this card because for 2 colorless energy, we're going to have a Drag-Off. We're definitely going to have a special dark on this Pokemon, so Drag-Off's going to deal 30 damage to your opponent's active, or you can gust out any Pokemon you want and deal 30 to that one instead. Start taking chunks out of your opponent's key setup Pokemon before they can evolve and become setup Pokemon. And then on your next turn, if you so choose, you can start dealing 80 damage? Plus more if you want to discard a Darkness energy off of Sharpedo EX, while also discarding an energy off of the defended Pokemon. Honestly, you would only have to do this against massive opposing threats. Otherwise, you can just Darkness Blast for 80, and it's a great follow-up to Drag-Off. Sharpedo EX is going to play similarly to the Slowking deck we talked about earlier in the season, where turn 2, you're a threat, turn 3, you're a problem. Sharpedo can certainly hit harder, more efficiently, more consistently than Slowking, but man, 100 HP on a 2-prizer, that is a big risk that you are taking. But I sure do love a turn 2 aggro deck, and Sharpedo EX is one of the best in the 2005 season. Highly underplayed and underrated. Sharpedo EX has a top 20 placing at the 2005 World Championships as piloted by William Hung. Here is that deck list. We've got the 4/4 line of Sharpedo EX, 4 copies of Jirachi to help with setup and consistency as far as just having a basic Pokemon in your opening hand goes. That 1 copy of Wobbuffet to help stall out for a turn or 2 against your opponent's Pokemon EX. And then a bunch of draw power and disruption. Energy Removal 2 is going to stack nicely against Sharpedo EX's ability to discard energy on its own. Pokemon Reversal to help take out some of your opponent's key support Pokemon early on, which also pairs nicely with Sharpedo EX's ability to gust. Your trainer base is just allowing you to double down on the things that you want to do with Sharpedo EX. Swoop Teleporter is a nice tool to crash a sleeping Jirachi and play for a Carvanha. That isn't going to care about taking on that sleep because you're just going to evolve it next turn anyway. The energy base is pretty straightforward. It's all specials. We got your special metals so that Jirachi can't attack. When you want to put a little extra hate on those support Pokemon that have powers, a full playset of special darks so that Sharpedo EX can take advantage of that extra damage. And then full playsets of Rainbow Energy and Dark Metal Energy for Jirachi and Sharpedo. The Rainbows and Dark Metal are key for Sharpedo's second attack. Since they aren't providing any extra bonus to Sharpedo EX, they're just providing the dark energy. They're the ones that you want to be discarding to deal extra damage. And you're not going to care at all about conservation of your special energy cards or recycling them because this is a speed deck. If you haven't won by the time you're getting low on energy cards, you are going to lose anyway. Sharpedo EX hits fast and it hits hard. Giving it some pretty even matchups across the board, your strategy with this deck is not going to change very much based on what's sitting across the board from you. Where the deck does struggle is against opposing, attacking Pokemon that have more than 100 HP. You don't want to enter into any wars of attrition with decks like Dark Steelix, Blaziken, Blastoise. In those instances, if those decks are able to set up into their big stage 2s, or in the case of Steelix, just Steelix, sure, you'll be trading knockouts, but this deck will definitely run out of Pokemon before your opponent does, because almost every other deck in this format that isn't turn 2 has a ton of support Pokemon built in. But a large portion of the time, playing this deck is just a fun race to see if you can knock out 6 of their single prizers before they can knock out 3 of your Sharpedos. I really like that playstyle. Not much more to talk about with Sharpedo. the deck's not doing anything spectacular that we haven't already covered so far with all the other turn 2 decks in this format. I was going to do an entire video over the Machamp Pidgeot deck that did pop up from time to time in 2005, but it's one of those cards a lot like Sharpedo EX where you just show it and everybody just goes like, oh, okay, yeah, I know how to read, so I know exactly how that deck's gonna play. There's really no need for in-depth analysis. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one.